Blood in with the mob. Let the young niggas at large. Why not see my young niggas in charge? Why you in G? That's a life way. Instead of the highway you play and you probably see stars. Well, I probably see bars. Shots to the top and ass shit for a start. Put that bitch on the lick with a brick of that oil. Watch it whipping that joy and see that whole life on my dick and get hard. When these niggas get hard, betraying they gangster, but bitch, you know I knew that shit from the start. Stick on my hip with that dick in a rock. Step in my clip, make it easy to bow. Make the best of head like you ain't see what you saw. Sorry, I can't recall. On the block with that dope, had on
and I think that's why I appreciate y'all niggas so much, cause Starlito is like one of my, he like my top 3. You know what I'm saying? Cause like even like by the time he dropped what is it, the album with Daddy Issues on it.
Paternity Leave.
Yeah. I was going through my first child, baby mama, you know what I'm saying? So while he rapping this shit, like I say, anytime I'm down, that's who I go to. Yeah. I go to Starlito, cause I just relate to the nigga. But when I say y'all you just give us, like I say, genuine music. Y'all don't give us too tough music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Crying in the car. And then even with you, like I say, bro, this man, when I say the vulnerability and the honesty when it comes to what you done dealt with as a child growing up, you and your brother, what y'all done went through, what you was thinking about at the moment, it's like, man, you don't know how many people going through the same thing or feel the same way about their parents. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, see, for you earlier, you asked me what changed, what I guess opened me up to be more vulnerable with certain things. The childhood shit, I never really spoke on the childhood shit because me and Piff went through it together, and I ain't feel like I had the right to tell your story for you. And you know, so I did my best to stay away from certain things because I didn't know if he was ready to talk about. You know, we can have the conversation. We might not be ready for the world to know certain things and people to walk up to you. And now they know things that, you know, deepest, darkest secrets kind of shit. And Piff passed, and you know, it leaves it at a state where if I don't speak about it, it goes unsaid. And a lot of my music is that. It's the shit that, you know, we all go through it. Just rap niggas don't have the courage to say that they going through some real shit. Like rap niggas won't tell you that they not filthy fucking rich. They won't tell you that they got a relationship. You know, rap niggas paint a picture like everything's great at all times, and it's not. And what happens?
That ain't life.
Right. So what happens when you listening to rappers who you only see colorful shit from? When shit start getting dull, you start tuning away. I don't want to hear it. This ain't you. In real life, it is them, but you don't recognize them. You never seen them. Now when you see them, that ain't what grabbed you. That ain't what you like. And, you know, I ain't turn on fucking HBO to watch a fucking Discovery Channel. I would have put it on Discovery Channel. But you know, so when it comes to the music, I think that's the greatest attribute for me is that, you know, I say the shit that we all feeling. May not all be feeling it at the same time, but nobody's, at least no artist is, is courageous enough to, to say it.
Or articulate enough. That'd probably be a lot of people's problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't that many people can articulate themselves to put it in the words, in the music, in the form that you do, because it's like when you do it, you like, it's still gotta be this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
true that. Still gotta entertain.
Right, exactly. So if I'm not, you know what I'm saying, that's another reason why. Like, for example, when you did Mama's Revenge, the way you was wording it, it's almost like you talk, it's like a conversation. You say you thought I was gonna help you, you know what I'm saying, when you drowned in debt.
I remember all that shit,
you should have learned how to swim. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm like, damn, that nigga talking to somebody, you know what I'm saying? So everybody not articulate enough, but the way, like I say, if you just the way you've been doing this, man, like I say, been following you since, like you say, since you've been doing it in the vocal booth, making them videos. My boy Mike Neal, he was the first one on you. Like before you drop, he saw the video in the vocal booth when you dropped Letter to My Son. You know what I'm saying? Is that the first one? He the one that put me on. You know what I'm saying? And that's when it came out on video with CeeLo Green and shit like that. But the chorus, who was on the chorus originally? Was it you?
Chorus.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, I don't remember this chorus.
A lot of that was, like I said a second ago, once I was signed, I put everything I thought I knew aside to learn. And no matter what I learned from the situation, some of the shit went horribly left. Some of it went right. Not many things went right, but you know, I never been the kind of person to sit and complain about what didn't work. I'll say what did work. I took the money that my advance and bought a studio. So I never had to pay for the recording of the records. They had to pay me. I Letter to My Son, we sat down and they were saying it can't go to radio because it don't have a hook. So we had to find a hook. All right, well, they did a whole lot of searching to find somebody to do the hook. And then Esther Dean came out of nowhere and she hit me on Twitter. She was like, I sent you a surprise. I'm like, oh, okay. I've never met her in person. But either way, she hit me. So right after she hit me, they hit me and they was like, we got the hook. Check it out. I'm listening to it and Esther Dean hit it on the head. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. And they was like, we got to find somebody to sing it. So I'm like, all right, I'm with that. It got to be like, it got to be like a CeeLo. I named CeeLo specifically because CeeLo hook on the song with Ballin and G called Paid Dues.
Man, that was one of my favorite songs.
So I'm like, if it ain't that feel, then we can skip this whole tape. Yeah. What you say? All right, right. So they came back and they was like, they named a few people. It was like Mary J. Blige. I was like, no, Mary J. Blige is a woman. I get it that Esther Dean's a woman and she wrote it, but it can't be. This can't come from a woman. Right. It misconstrues the message. Yeah. So he was taking shots all over the place, and they finally just came back and like one of them niggas knew Gip, and they worked it through Gip. They got CeeLo on him. Like, oh, that's cool. I'm with it. Yeah. We did the video, and then I just kept getting a run around. They was like, we got to, in the music industry, in order for your record to go on air to get airplay, it's called an ad date, where all of the stations add your song to put it in rotation. I never got an ad date. They kept giving me the run around. I got out my deal in 2013, so for like 2 to 3 years, I didn't get an ad date. They kept saying we're going to get an ad date. And the reason why is that's a whole nother conversation. But basically I didn't get the ad date, and that was supposed to be the ingredient I needed for it to go on radio, right? And then Young M.A. dropped the song with no hook. And right after, she went first. Nope, Jay-Z and Trinidad shit, that is the hook. Jay-Z and Kanye did I think it was the oldest song. There's no hook. Right. So we sitting here and the rule is this until they change the rule. They changed the rule. While we sitting here, they changed the rule because what the radio gonna tell them? We ain't gonna play Jay-Z and Kanye. Right. Because of who it was. Right. Now we already spent $300,000, put a nigga on the hook for a song we didn't need a hook for. But they just changed the rule for me.
Damn,
they still got no ad date. And then I started hearing more records with no hooks. Bobby Shmurda popped up, no hook.
No hook.
Young M.A. popped up with no hook.
Kodak, like, wow. No hook. That's crazy.
Now you don't need a hook. Right. But what I learned from that is, this system don't recognize a better way to do or another way to do things. They only operate on what they saw work already. So if you ain't got the means to convince them to move on it, then it ain't gonna happen. Right. And even though I was signed, I never had the perception that I was the biggest star in the world and people gonna do what I want them to do because they need me. I knew better. There was a million niggas signed. When I was signed, Kendrick Lamar wasn't popping yet, but he was signed to the same label. I overheard, conversations where they wanted to drop Kendrick Lamar. They didn't, of course, and his shit prevailed. Right. But that's what I'm saying. I sat in a space where, it could have went either way for me. Right. And for me, I ended up, I got dropped, but I thought, I requested to be dropped. I had to do it about 3 times in order for them to go ahead and let me go. But Cool and Dre did so much dirty business that it wasn't hard for me to get out of the contract. Right. It was more so like, Do I want to go to court with them?
Right.
Or say we free and clear?
Just let me get on down.
Right. They let me out, and boy, I've made more money now than I ever seen signed to a record label.
Yeah.
And not to say I wouldn't ever sign a record deal, contract. Then I just saw fucking the chat GPT, some shit.
Yeah.
And they was like, somebody used it to break down a recording contract. And I'm like, that's wild. But when I got signed, I had very little information in it that I didn't understand.
Right.
One thing my lawyer told me, and my lawyer, David Kenner. David Kenner is one of the greatest crooks. So, it is what it is. I knew everything I've learned in the streets, I learned from criminals. So, David Kenner is one of, he's a fucking attorney. So, he know how to work it. So I'm sitting with him, and he was like, well, technically, he kind of let it slip. He was talking, and he was like, technically, you can send the contract back as many times as you see fit, because legally, you got to be able to understand it.
Right.
The reason people, you can sign and not have a lawyer, and then you up shit's creek. But that's because you didn't know that you could tell them to make that contract where you can understand it.
Right, English, nigga.
But if you had ever said that, then they legally have to meet your requirements. But since you never said that, all you read was the first paragraph that told you how much money they was for to give you up front. You ain't read the rest of the 60 pages.
Right.
Then, they not obligated to make the contract where you can understand it. But when he told me that, I came back in like 2 weeks, and I just took a highlighter. Every word I didn't understand, every sentence I didn't understand. Sent it back. They sent it back. Well, as a matter of fact, we sent it back. They didn't want to cooperate. But like I said, it's legally you have to.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, what I didn't know is I was making people disgruntled. Of course, again, like I said, hindsight, there's a lot of shit I learned from that went the right way, and well, not many things went the right way, but a lot of shit that went the wrong way, I learned from it.
Right.
And one of the things I started understanding was that this is a business. Like Scream might just see y'all two. They don't see all the other people that's involved and have to make it happen. So if you sat here and you never gave credit to the people that's doing their job, why the fuck would they want to do their job?
Right.
So I learned that. I'm sitting, I'm requesting all this shit. Then when we do finalize, I'm in the building meeting people, and they like, man, you was giving me a hard time with those contracts and yada yada yada. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you. I didn't know you
Right.
or know that you were the one that had to deal with it.
Right.
So a lot of the shit, like I said, a lot of shit that went wrong, I learned from it, and it helped steer my ship now. Because if anything, I learned what not to do.
Yeah. Man, I can dig it, man. Well, man, I just want to say, bro, I appreciate you. We appreciate you, man. Man, just keep going. You know what I'm saying?
My shit ain't coming with no quit button.
For real, man. Like, we really need that. We like I say, we need that music. You know what I'm saying? Like my guy that did the shirt for you. Yeah. When I say the man stayed on the phone with me for hours, like, Nick, man, you gotta let me give him this, man. You gotta let me give him this. And I'm
appreciate that.
Straight up, man. I'm gonna call you. You know what I'm saying? But we support you. We appreciate you, bro. Just keep on going.
Oh, indeed,
man. We got a saying, that we doing. You know what I'm saying? Before we cut out, I need you to take part in. You know what I'm saying? Hold up now.
As long as it ain't crazy.
No. So when we say what we say, I want you to say this.
You gotta say what you say first.
When you hear it, you gonna hear it.
No, I'm saying before I can agree.
No,
like we always say, it's always a treat.
Okay, when players meet.
Come on, man.
I can fuck with that.
I don't do high fives. I flex to the right side and left your eyes wide. Tied in with the mob, got plugged in. Call me a wise guy. Blood in with the mob. Bloody young niggas at Lord. Why not see my young no more Mr. Nice Guy?